A most common question, which is funny, is people ask, can I manage the property myself? Of course you can. Can it be managed better by a professional who specialises in that? Well, yes, we'd like to think so. Most times when people self-manage, they only tend to do listed on Airbnb because that's what they've heard and that's what they know. We know from our own experience, just over 50% of all our bookings come from booking.com. If you're self-listing and doing it yourself, you're possibly leaving out a large proportion of possible bookings. Also, of course, our own professional cleaning staff, maintenance crew and everything else. And who wants to get rung at 10 o'clock at night asking, how do you turn on the oven? How do you turn off this, turn on that? We do all that for you. So can you manage it yourself? Yes, you can. Should you manage it yourself? Probably not.
There are a variety of services that short-term rental managers may offer you. We can't speak for everyone, but at SunnyBNB, we will come and evaluate your property, let you know if it's suitable for a short-term rental. We then organise photos, organise a cleaning supervisor to come through and assess to make sure that we reach all aspects of your property, to make sure it's clean to the standards that you and guests expect. We will then create a listing for you. We'll create that listing across multiple platforms in a sequential order to make sure that bookings across those platforms are maximised to the best of our ability. We will then make sure that all of guest messages are answered within 1 hour at most, generally within 10 minutes. We make sure all properties are cleaned on the day of checkout, ready for a same-day check-in, to maximise your occupancy and your revenue. And we'll also make sure that we record all of those cleans as well with anywhere between 30 to 60 photos of the property to make sure that our standards are being met. Amongst our team, we've got people that look at the pricing every single day, at least twice a day. We have a cleaning supervisor who also goes to check the cleans as well. And we have a general handyman who is available at the drop of a hat to fix anything from a broken fan to a broken stool. As well as this, we've got a list of 45 external trades that are available within 24 to 48 hours for us anytime we call. With SunnyBNB, every single aspect of your property is managed and looked after as if it was our own.
What every owner would like to know, what do we charge for these services? The way it works with us, there's an accommodation charge for the booking for the property, and on top of that there is a cleaning fee charged to the guest. It's called cleaning fee, but it covers all of the cleaning for the property, it covers all of the linen, we use only linen service linen, and it covers all of the consumables. So as the property is booked, as it is cleaned, as it is all changed with fresh linen, and as it has all the consumables topped up from shampoo, conditioner, tea, coffee, toilet paper, dishwashing powder, dishwashing liquid, etc. All of those are paid for by the guest. So the only cost that you will have as an owner is a percentage of the accommodation. So if someone stayed at your property and there was $1,000 accommodation charge, we charge 20% GST Inc. of that accommodation charge. Cleaning is paid for by the guest, as I've already said, and it's not a cost to the owner. Thank you.
Where your property is listed is always an important question that is asked. We list across 4 different platforms at SunnyBNB. The obvious one, of course, being Airbnb, but also across booking.com, VRBO, and our own direct bookings website. A lot of people may ask, why do we go away from Airbnb? For the security and the cover of damages purposes. And the reason for that is we're missing out on about 50% of the short-term rental market. At the moment, booking.com accounts for 50% of all of our bookings, Airbnb another 40, and the final 10% split between VRBO or stays and SunnyBNB's direct booking website. When we list on these platforms, there is a sequential order to do these listings in order to maximize your occupancy and your revenue. When you list with Airbnb, you get a 14-day preferential search criteria that boosts you up the search rankings for the first 2 weeks that you're listed. For that reason, we will only list on Airbnb for that first 2 weeks to make sure that we're maximizing the benefits of that boost. Once the 2 weeks is up, we then list across booking.com, our direct website, and VRBO to make sure that you have as much exposure as possible to ensure that you're getting the most out of your short-term rental.
We often say guests will forgive a lot of things. They'll forgive the weather, humidity, rain. One thing they won't forgive if the property is dirty. Absolute paramount to us is the property is always clean, and it's a standard that both the guests require, you require, and we expect. To do that, for the last 4 years, we've actually have our own cleaners. We've gone away from using externals, and we use our own dedicated professional staff. We work from a warehouse in Warana with linen service linen, with cleaners that we've trained, cleaners that we supervise, cleaners that we have our cleaning supervisors go out and check, and cleaners that have detailed lists of what they are to do at every single property. As well, each of our cleaners on completing a job take multiple photos as both record of the job they've done and proof for any future claims for a guest who may have caused any problems, damage or mess. One thing we do is great attention to detail to our cleaners and all our cleaning work that's done.
One of the many reasons that a property owner will choose to go with a manager for their short-term rental is so that they don't have to deal with the hassle, stress that goes along with answering guest queries, questions and issues that may arise during a stay. At SunnyBNB, we look after all of the property maintenance that goes into a guest stay, no matter what the issue is. If there is a major issue like a washing machine or a dishwasher that may need replacing, that will be the stage where we confer with you as to what you would like to do, whether that would be replacement or repair. Anything that is easy to manage, simple, we look after ourselves.
What happens if there are maintenance issues or repairs that need to be done at the property? That really varies from whatever the issue is and also between owner to owner. For instance, if it's a light bulb in the lounge room that's gone out, we'll simply replace it, and that's a simple minor thing our maintenance man will do. If it was something that needed repairs and it was minor, we'd get it done. If it was a major thing, we'd always check with the owner. But also, their owners have preferences and have different needs from each other. For instance, one owner may say, my brother lives close by, he's an electrician. If it's an electrical problem, don't get it fixed, I'll get my brother to do it. Someone else might say, I've got a friend who does X, he will come and do that. So that's on one end of the spectrum. On the other end of the spectrum, we may have an owner who's a fly-in, fly-out miner, is in the Pilbara, and his instructions are, no matter what happens, fix it. So we have certain small things we'll do every time, and we have other things, and it depends on our owner and our agreement with the owner and what you as the owner would like us to do for you for maintenance and repairs.
When asked if we verify our guests, the simple answer is yes. Airbnb is very helpful in that it does its own identity verification before people are able to book at your property. But when we move to booking.com, VRBO, and our direct bookings website, we need to make sure that we do it ourselves. In order to make sure that you're protected, we're protected, and your property is protected, we do ID verification on all bookings that come through those platforms. Guests are required to supply an ID which name matches the credit card used to prevent credit card fraud, and they're also required to verify their phone numbers through a text message or a phone call. This ensures your property's safety. At SunnyBNB, all of our properties are strictly no parties, no events, no functions. In order to ensure this, in the listing description, it explicitly states no parties, events or functions. When a booking comes in and we send a confirmation message, it explicitly states no parties, events or functions. And again on the check-in day, when we send a message with all of the relevant check-in details, we will again emphasize no parties, events or functions. When a booking is taken outside of Airbnb, we'll also take a security deposit from a guest. This is a pre-authorized hold that we are able to take without requesting from Airbnb or requesting from anyone else. So if something happens or goes wrong, someone has a party, we're able to take that to make sure that you're protected and your property is protected. We also have the option of a noise alarm. Now, a noise alarm doesn't record conversations. It will record a noise level at a certain decibel for over 10 minutes. If it hits that, we get a notification through our app and we're able to contact that guest immediately to either tell them to quiet down or tell them that they're reservation is terminated. The other beauty of the noise alarms that we use is that they also count Bluetooth signals. So they will count how many phones are at that property, and if there's more than the maximum number of guests, then we know that there may be a party risk. Once again, we'll get a notification and we'll get on top of it straight away. The other thing that we offer is for you to give our phone number to your neighbours, and if they ever have any issues, please just send us a text message and we'll deal with it straight away. It's much easier to deal with these things as they happen rather than after the event has already happened and there's nothing that we can do about it.
When asked what insurance I should take on our property, we're very careful in not trying to give insurance advice, but we're also very adamant that you do need insurance. People often assume Airbnb, for instance, will give me air cover, so therefore I'm safe. Maybe is probably our best answer. Airbnb self-insures. So what that means is they will make a determination whether or not they want to pay for a possible damage or whether they want to pay for all of the possible damage. We've had instances where there was something happened and Airbnb's made an offer to say, yes, that was damaged by a guest and we're prepared to pay 50% of it. And that's the practical. So remembering, we also book on multiple other platforms. So starting point, you need, if it's a house, you need to make sure that your insurance on your house is no longer owner-occupier insurance, but is now insured for you having short-term rental guests there. That's number one. If you've already got insurance on your house, as you would, just check. If it's owner-occupier, you'll need to change it with that insurer. And if they don't offer that service, you'll need to have a second insurance company involved. The second part of it is that first one protects the insurance on the house or the property. If you have an apartment or a property and it's an apartment in a building, that will be insured by the building's body corporate and you don't need to worry about that. So for the second part, that belongs both for people in houses and also for apartments, which is what people often call landlord insurance or its contents insurance. The easiest one and the one that they will mostly sell you is straight landlord insurance. Unfortunately, it covers you for only accidental damage, which means a guest walks, they bump, they break the television, they break a vase, etc. Accidentally, it's covered. Now, most of those issues can be anywhere from $50 to $500. They tend to be small. The one that you want insurance for is the one with greatest peace of mind, which is deliberate and malicious as well. So you're getting landlord cover, but getting also the extras of deliberate and malicious. Now, it rarely happens, but when you take insurance, you really want to be insured. So you want to have it, if there was an instance where someone was there, couples had an argument or fight, they've broken up, and then he's caused extensive damage, he could cause $50,000 worth of damage in the property, and that's when you need deliberate or malicious, because that is not accidental and wouldn't be covered by your normal contents insurer. We suggest when you're doing this sort of insurance on your properties as an investment, go to an insurance broker. We have two we recommend. If you have your own, certainly go to them. Go to your insurance broker, say these are my particular requirements and this is what I need, and make sure that your cover is fit for purpose.